guys, so Cinco de Mayo is right around the corner. Best learn how to make some more Mexican. Alright, so we're going to start out with something nice and simple. I have about a dozen chicken legs, one 32-ounce container of chicken stock, some all-purpose seasoning, a little bit of bacon fat. We've got 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water out, a poblano, a jalapeno, some sesame seeds, and some mole paste. Because today we are going to make poblano mole chicken. So, gonna be a good one.
Mole comes from the Aztec word mili, which means compilation sauce. There are a lot of ingredients to mole. It is very complex to make. Start out with 12 dried ancho chilies, 12 dried guajillo chilies, 6 dried pastillo chilies. You get 4 tablespoons of white sesame seeds, a teaspoon of star anise, a teaspoon of black peppercorns, half a teaspoon of whole cloves, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme leaves, half a teaspoon of dried marjoram leaves. Take 3 large bay leaves and crumble them up. Get a large stick of Mexican cinnamon, crush it into pieces. Take 2 cups of canola oil. Get 6.5 cups of chicken stock out. Take a half a cup of skin-on almonds. Take a half a cup of raw shelled peanuts. Take a half a cup of cashews. Take a third of a cup of whole pumpkin seeds. Take a third of a cup of raisins. Take 2 stale white bread heels. Take 2 to 4 corn tortillas, depending on your thickness. Take 1 medium onion. Thinly slice it. Take a full dozen cloves of garlic. 2 large tomatillos. Rinse them off. Peel the husks off. Quarter them. Take a couple medium tomatoes. Do the same. Then we need to find Mexican drinking chocolate. Chop that finely until you have a full cup. 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar and a couple pinches of salt to taste.
It is thick and rich and beautiful. So, that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to turn on a cast iron skillet and we're going to crank our oven up to 400 degrees. Cast iron skillet's going to be rather busy today. Take your sesame seeds, lay them out in the pan. Nice thin layer will do us just fine. We're going to take our water, 2 cups of water. Two cups of rice. And we're going to go with something a little special today. This is saffron threads. A lot of time and effort go into picking these guys. All right. Pan's getting hot. Sesame seeds are nice and toasty. I'm going to coat the bottom of my pan. with a little bit of fat, and drop the temperature down. Sprinkle on a liberal amount of seasoning to our chicken. Alright, pan's nice and hot. Straight into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Rice has got a good boil going on. We're going to bring that down to nice and low. A lot of natural oil in thank you. There's a lot of natural oil in mole to begin with. There's a lot of natural flavor in mole. It's big, it's bold. It's very, very time consuming to make. That's why I have to thank Sophia and her sister, who are at my market down in Mexico. I seem to be one of the only gringos that goes by her little stall and buys large quantities of her mole. But if you've never had it, you should. It is phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to reserve some to thin it back out at a later point. So I only put in about 2/3 of my chicken stock. And as far as the mole went, I had 1 full cup. As it warms up, it'll start separating out. Just keep smashing slowly. It will come into a nice, thick, dark, rich sauce. We have about 15 minutes left on our rice back here. We got about the same with our chicken down below. We'll be eating shortly. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple different garnish ideas. We're utilizing a Poblano today because, well, that is one of the main peppers that is in mole. Got a light bubble going on with our mole already. And just keep stirring. You don't want anything to scorch to the bottom. Doing this in a nice, heavy, wide pan for that reason. Won't be long to get it up to temperature. Won't be long for it to start to thicken. But you want everything in here to break down. Just about time to start thinning it out. Love how that works. If she comes up to a boil, add more stock. You want the temperature to be high enough to melt the chocolate and the seasonings. But you don't want it to boil. Just take your time. It'll take about 10 minutes for everything to melt down. But you do want to keep stirring.
right about time to rotate our chicken. That way everything gets nice and brown.
All we have left to do is we're going to sear these peppers real quick in the chicken fat drippings that come out of the pan. And then I did make a surprise. We're going to make our own refried beans. And this is what's in the pot. About a medium-high heat. 1 pound of rinsed and soaked pinto beans. 12 cups of water. 1 roasted pork bouillon. 6 cloves of garlic. And 2 tablespoons of salt. And 1 Morito chili. And that's why I've got the bacon fat, because we're going to reduce that fat down 1 or 2 tablespoons depending on how much the chicken renders out. And we're going to make our own refried beans from scratch. Definitely using my hot pad. That's looking beautiful. I'm going to crank this puppy back up to a good level. Get my chicken on out. I'm going to zap these peppers real quick. Not going to bring them anywhere past. We're not going for anything but tender. Man, it smells good in here. Time to remove our peppers before the water starts leaching out of them. I'm going to get us out a nice heavy spoon. Oh, that's warm. And now we take our potato masher. And that's as easy as she is. Do a quick fluff on your rice. There we go. Perfect rice. Go ahead and split that up 4 ways. chicken poblano mole with saffron rice and homemade refried beans. I don't think we're getting any better for dinner. Let's give her a go, see where we land. Oh my. That is so good. Let's try a good old saucy piece. Moist, tender. Wow. That's a lot of flavor. My goodness. That'll make you happy. That mole is so rich. It's got a nice nutty, deep flavor to it. You know that a couple grandmas made it just because it tastes like love. All we had to do was take a little bit of chicken stock, reconstitute it back out into the sauce. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Peppers are still got a little bit of a crunch to them. How did our beans turn out? Wow. Soft and silky. Those are beautiful. Well, I've got dinner. I hope yours turns out just as well. You guys, I'll see you next week. We'll do the same cooking. But until then, you guys enjoy your family and keep on cooking.